Hello and welcome to our panel today. I'm curious about how all of you maybe have heard of this, possibly through Facebook or Twitter. If so, then you've already been a part of what we're here to discuss. Today we're going to discuss why it is important for you to implement social media into your marketing or your advertising, or even if you're human resources trying to find new employees. I'm Kyle Hayes. I've been marketing for a while. I've used social media several times in my career. With me to my left are several business owners, human resources development, and other independent people who have used social media and have shown that they know what they need in order to promote their products through social media. Perfect. Spencer Doyle, who's a small business owner. Carly Enriquez, who is a human resources. Brian Sells, who works with Atlantic Records, and Sarah Beth Coffey, who is an independent fashion designer. Right now I'd ask each one of them to go a little bit further into what exactly they do.
Hello, my name is Spencer Doyle. I own Doyle's Restaurant in Houston. We use social media such as Facebook and LinkedIn to help our business out. We use Facebook for advertisement, for our specials, our hours, and also what's new on our menus. We use LinkedIn for hiring our employees.
Hi, my name is Carly Enriquez, and I'm a human resource representative for companies both large and small. My small company is T3 here in Austin, which is an advertising company, and I also work with GQ Magazine, which is known both nationally and worldwide.
Hi, I'm Brian Sellis, and I'm an artist development representative for Atlantic Records. We operate under Warner Music Group, and we are one of the top 3 music companies in the world.
Hello, my name is Sarah Beth Coffey. I'm actually a freelance fashion designer and have been for the past 10 years. Some of the companies that I've sold to are Anthropologie, Chanel, and Francesca's. Although my brand, Kimono Fashion, is not well known, I was contacted by these companies because they saw my advertisements on my social media. I usually use Tumblr, Pinterest, and Wanello.
Now I'd like to start this panel off by what most of us are really familiar with when we're on Facebook or on Twitter or on most of the social media sites. You see a lot of advertising for a lot of companies. And I wanted to direct the question over to you, Sarah Beth Coffey. As a fashion designer, you have a need to get your product out there to several people. How do you use social media for yourself to get your product and your fashion designs out there to other companies?
Well, thank you, Kyle. That is an excellent question. I actually utilize my main 3 that I stated before is Tumblr, Pinterest, and Wanello. Why do I utilize these sites? Because they're pictures. They're image-oriented, meaning that the customer can view what they're going to buy before they buy it. It's absolutely wonderful because they can see how it looks on the model, they can go through measurements, and they can see the reviews. And so this has been a great way to advertise because Tumblr and Pinterest and Wanello are easy to open for anyone. And you can just click the button follow, and it's very easy.
Now, you're more of a bigger fashion designer at this point, pickups from very big companies. Now, Spencer, on the other hand, you have a smaller business, probably focused on more of a local area in your restaurant. How do you use social media to target the local consumers?
How we target the local consumers is we put specials up that offer them discounts, or such as buy 2 get 1 free, or discounts if you show that you're part of the homeowners association, and things like that. We offer them discounts through the social media to get them into the restaurant, to have their business, and to make them more familiar with what we are and what we serve.
And with advertising, Carly, you probably handle a different area of it. You're not so much trying to reach people, you're trying to figure out the people who are trying to reach you as a human resources designer. How do you use social media to pick out employees, your future employees?
Well, when I get asked this question, I like to refer back to a Forbes article that I recently found. And it talks about how in 2013, social media is becoming a huge part of human resources. And it talks about the death of a resume, which pretty much means while companies are and employers are looking at your resumes, they also check into your social media sites to find out what kind of person you are, to see if you really are a good fit for the job. So LinkedIn and Clout are better for to see how you are as a business person, and through LinkedIn and Clout, we see what kind of people you work with, how big is the people that you work with, the community of the people, and what type of things you guys have in relation. Whereas when we look at your Facebook and Twitter pages, we try to find out how you are on more of a personal level and if you're somebody that we want to work with.
And Brian, you're not so much trying to find employees, but you're having to make a bigger risk with Athletic Records. You're trying to find people to invest in, really, a lot of your time, a lot of your money, and a lot of your commitment. How do you make sure that you can use social media to the fullest to find the right bands or the right artists?
Yeah, working for a record label is pretty tough at times, and it's because we have to work with what we find out there. I am constantly using YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Twitter to find what the artist has to offer to the company. And lately I've been using SoundCloud a lot too. It's been growing over the last few years. Users are able to upload music. They're able to upload their creations. And there's a service that SoundCloud offers. It's called Dropbox, in which they're able to submit demos. We're one of the companies in which we accept demos from SoundCloud, so it makes it easier for the company, for me and the company, to be able to look at the profiles, to look at how successful they're being locally. We're able to see at their image and what they have to offer, their entire image.
And Start With Coffee, you are trying to obviously reach a greater expansion, like not so much as a local area, but probably greater in the whole world. How do you focus on reaching out to those people? How do you use social media to globalize yourself?
Well, again, Kyle, that is another great question. And because of our easy access to the internet, it has made global sales so much bigger. Essentially nowadays, almost everyone has a computer, so it's very easy to go on these social networking sites and find any type of product. You type it into Google and you say handbags, and I'll come a bunch of handbags. It's absolutely wonderful for me to go global because Winello, Tumblr, Pinterest, like I stated before, are all interactive, meaning that people can go into these sites and they can put their feedback, and it's not something that's limited to the United States alone. It's all different countries. What's wonderful about Tumblr is that you can even find blogs in different languages. And because it's pictures, you already know what you're going to buy. So that's basically how I've become a little bit more global, as well as working for these bigger companies like Chanel and Anthropologie, which are, all through the world.
And Brian, I'm sure that social media has made it easier for y'all's company to go global, or your company to go global. It's instead of having to go around different places, how exactly has it made it easier for your company to expand globally?
Well, there's two parts to going global. The first part is trying to find artists. Now we don't have to travel long distances to find artists. We're able to find people from all over the world, all in one website probably. And it makes communication faster too. We are able to beat our competitors out there to get a name under a label. And then we're also able to promote music worldwide. We're able to preview our future releases. We're able to get a bigger target market out there. So it makes it much easier.
And Spencer, for locally, not so much as international, you have to focus on keeping customers coming back. This would be a two-part question. So how would you keep customers from coming back, and how do you keep expanding to newer customers and try to focus on also repeats?
That's a very great question. How we keep our local customers coming back is we give them better offers in the restaurant when they come and they use, say, a Facebook coupon that they printed off Facebook. We'll give them an extra bonus for next time, like $5 off their next meal. And then for new customers, we have those print off coupons from Facebook where you can get 20% off, 5% off, and that keeps the customers coming in.
And Carly, how has social media made it easier for you to find employees or to focus on employees, really make sure these are the right ones?
I think that social media makes it a lot easier to find employees and people specifically fit for certain jobs, because by looking into somebody's profiles, whether it be on a personal or business level, it helps you really understand what kind of person they are. And so instead of just being with the person at an interview face to face and them maybe just acting a certain way for an interview, you get a better insight into what kind of person they truly are. So I think it makes a better fit for the job, and you're able to better tell who's specific for what and in what part they would be better off in. So it really helps the business be able to recruit the right people.
And what are the top sites that you use?
We like to use LinkedIn and Cloud specifically for finding people's business ways. So LinkedIn gets to show you how people relate with other business people around them, the community that they build around them, and how they sort of talk to those other people and keep a community. And we use Cloud. Cloud it gives you points based on how many people you meet or come in touch with over the course of your other social media sites. So through Cloud, we can tell if you really are networking and how serious you are about the business field.
And so I'd like to go over a little bit what each one of you said and wrap it up. So if you say, use it to get your product out there, especially the images sites. It's a great way for if you're selling something that's visually more effective than just hearing about it. Using Tumblr, using Pinterest, using those sites would be very helpful to you. With Ryan, it's if you're in the music industry, using those video sites, Vimeo, YouTube, or even SoundCloud, which is a very artist-based website. It'd be a great way for you to expand your business and to find even better artists and bands. Carly, for those of you in human resources, Carly has showed you how great it is to use LinkedIn and even Facebook as to find how professional they are in their professional world, and if they are to stay and keep that image when going on to Facebook, and if they don't put any crude pictures on. And for small business owners, it may seem difficult to get your business out there on social media side, like if maybe you don't even think you need to. It's very useful for Facebook. You get deals, and you can send deals out there, and it's a great way to keep customers kind of feeling like they're a part of something just by going to your, even if it's a restaurant. And I guess now I'd like to open it up for questions.
Hi, my name is Sarah Katona. My question is globalization hard, not to step on people's toes? I know that there was a whole controversy for 9/11 because AT&T had a picture of the new, like, what was rebuilt as kind of like, 9/11 happened, but we're taking a step forward. And AT&T had their phone, and that was like an ad for them, and people were going absolutely crazy because they were saying that it was offensive and rude. What do you do if you make that mistake? How do you retract it? I mean, is that hard?
Okay, so the question would be, if you make a slip up or you accidentally offend somebody using social media, how would each one of you react? If I guess we could each take a quick way to answer it. Spencer, you want to start?
The way we would react would, we would fix it as quickly as possible and apologize for it. And then maybe kind of compensate the person who was offended or the company that was offended by it.
With our company, I would agree with Spencer. It's kind of that way you create customer value by compensating and quickly fixing the problem, and that way you make sure that they feel confident in your company that it was a mistake and you're doing everything you can to fix it.
Yeah, anything else to add?
Well, that's a great question. And the reason why is because as record labels, we have to think about the global market. We have what might not be offensive to Americans might be offensive to other people out there in the world. For example, we had this one, we were promoting one tour in the Middle East, I believe. the promotion included, people took it as promoting smoking. So people took it as, they were offended by that. So what we try to do is we try to bring down every single ad. We try to clear up any mistakes or anything, any statements. And because we're not only bringing down our image, but we're also bringing down the artist's image.
Yes, Sarah, regarding your question, I think it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. I believe that I'm completely aligned with my fellow panel members. Once you put something on the web, although it is so beneficial and you can reach so many different people, you can never really take it off. And that's one of the, you could say either benefits or, not benefits of social media. So basically what you have to do is just apologize and try and correct your mistake as quickly as possible, because people will get offended. And all you have to do is try to stay professional about it and apologize and make sure that they feel a lot better about it afterwards.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm Zach Silverman, and my question is for Brian. With social media and the internet, it's a lot easier to share music and with pirating nowadays. And people argue that this kind of gives free exposure to the music, but then there's also the side of the argument that pirating is stealing. How do you feel about that subject?
Well, there has been, we have been increasing our policies, especially on the web. People are using YouTube a lot to release music that has not been released yet. We are able to now take out those audio files from YouTube in a day. Our response is much more quicker. We're also we're establishing punishments. We're working with the law enforcement to make punishments more severe now. And honestly, this is an everyday thing. And if it's music that has not been yet released, we're able to release it as fast as we can to not prevent the artist from, being harmed and not getting the money that they put into their music. So in the end, we're working with the law enforcement and we're trying to do our best to punish those people.
Okay, my name is Alicia Olivier, and actually I have a question for Sarah specifically. You mentioned a lot about Tumblr, but I'm not very familiar with that website particularly. How does it work? I never heard that you could purchase things on Tumblr. How does it benefit you?
To reiterate for those who didn't hear, she's asking Sarah Coffey exactly how do you use Tumblr?
All right, well that's a wonderful question. Thank you so much, Alicia. Tumblr is a wonderful, it started off as a blog essentially. So it was basically people who could go on and just reblog cool pictures or quotes or anything. And it just really took off from there. So there's so many different people using it. How we use it is that we can upload pictures. So essentially we follow all these big brands and we can reblog their pictures as something that, fashion, you put the hashtags and it automatically goes into a category of different fashion items. So when we upload new items, such as handbags, scarves, purses, they go into these accessory categories and people can click on it. And on the bottom, we usually put a little link to our website. So you can look at the item, you get a lot of people going through because on Tumblr you can find all these different categories from art, poetry, fashion, etc. And you just click on the link on the bottom and it takes you directly to our page. So you cannot purchase from Tumblr, but you can purchase from the link on the bottom of the page. Winello is a little bit different because you can actually purchase from the page, exactly.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any questions?
Hi, my name is Sean Lim. I'm just got out of college and I'm an up-and-coming entrepreneur. My new business, I've been trying to utilize social media as best I could. I have Facebook, I have Twitter, I have Google+, and I'm having a hard time trying to decipher what goes onto each social media site, because what I'm just doing now is just putting all posts on all three, but I feel like it's not a proper utilization. What is the panel's advice on the different social media sites and how to properly utilize them?
So he's asking, how do you use all of the social media sites?
I can take that one. Thank you, Sean, for your question. With my personal interaction with Facebook, we really learned that with Facebook, three main things are you should put a link to your website if you have one, put the hours of your business, and also put like a menu or some sort, or what you actually serve at your business. Those three things are key because customers will see that and then actually know where it is, when you're open, and what you're actually selling. And those are really helpful on Facebook.
Carly, since we want you.
I'd like to add that now through Twitter and Facebook, you can check into somewhere. So maybe you can allow your customers to check into your restaurant by placing your location on there. That way they know exactly where you are and they can GPS your restaurant or whatever your company is, as well as check into it. And maybe if they check into it, you'll give them a special or something like that. That way they're interactive with your page as well.
I can also expand on that, Sean. You said the three networking sites you use are Google+,
Facebook and Twitter.
And Twitter. Excellent. So I know that Carly already talked a lot about Facebook and Twitter. As far as Google+ goes, you could use that for interacting with other future entrepreneurship. Because you are a freshman in college, do you have your own business, Sean?
I just graduated from
You
college,
just graduated
actually,
from
starting a new business.
So it would probably be a great way for you to get in touch with maybe people that are a little bit further along in the field or people that are of like interests or similar to what you want to do. So I think that would be a great way to utilize Google+, whereas Facebook and Twitter might be more on the social aspect of like how to get the word out about what you want to do, and Google+ you could use to communicate with other professionals.
Carly, you mentioned cloud and how it helps your business earlier in your presentation. I was wondering if you could go into further detail of exactly what cloud is.
Okay, so Cloud is yet another social media site that it's barely emerging, but it's supposed to be a big deal in 2013. And they call it the SAT score of business. So basically, you get points ranging from 1 through 100, and your points are based on which other social media sites you use, how often you use it, the people you communicate with. So based on the importance and significance of those factors, your points go up. So a lot of businesses are starting to look at your Clout score as a way to determine whether you are a good business person and if you're right for their company or not. Thank you.
Who's that?
I'm also an upcoming entrepreneur, and with all the great social media out there, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you can get a lot of information on those sites. I was wondering if there's really any point at this day and age to have your own personal website for your business, or is it just a waste of time and money because no one's really going to visit it?
Okay, so Zach asked if there's any point of having your own website. I guess first we'll start with Sarah and move it over to you, Spencer.
That is an excellent question, Zach. Thank you so much. Like I stated before, although these other sites are very useful, I like to put a link to our actual website because you can only do so much on these social networking sites. You can't put absolutely everything on, in my case, Wanella or Tumblr or Pinterest. You can't put all of the information about your company or your company's history. However, for the people that are actually very interested in it, and you will actually be surprised, it's actually a lot of customers that are looking at your product and are interested in what type of company you are, they can click on the link below. So basically, what you would do is just attach the link to whatever type of social networking site that you're utilizing.
For our company, I would highly recommend a company website. We use ours to show the history, but also to take customers' ideas. We have a little blog spot on our company website, and we actually look at our customers' ideas about maybe new foods, new ideas to our classics, and some have actually gone onto our menu. We have a buffalo chicken pizza now, and a customer highly recommended that, and so yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah, I wondered if somebody could speak to Twitter and what kind of recommendations you have to effectively use Twitter so that you don't feel that your time is consumed constantly by having to keep up with Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and just managing time and managing social media, and what tips do you have for Twitter in particular?
so she's wondering how to further use Twitter to the fullest. Carly, you might expand on that.
Are you asking on a personal level or a business level?
Business level.
Okay, I would say that it's good to update a few times, have a couple posts, maybe whenever you're thinking of adding a special or something once a month. But I think maybe having too many tweets or getting out there to your followers a bit too much may cause them to unfollow you just from constantly being on their timeline. So I think maybe just here and there, just so that they do recognize, oh, here they are, haven't seen them in a while, and they really read into your special, versus seeing you numerous times and they just get tired and keep scrolling through. So that's what I would suggest.
Brian, do you might have anything?
Yeah, I feel like artists out there, and also bands, should have a Twitter because they are able to grow. They're able to, on their own, start pretty much their own fan base, and it'll be easier for us to know what's coming up from them. We're able to catch up, we're able to know of what they're up to, so that way we know that they're still there, and it's easier for us to contact them.
Great. Are there any more questions?
This one is specifically for Carly. You said that you look for people who are a good fit and someone that you would want to work with.
Right.
But I was just wondering like what that means, because I think that now, especially with social media, like the people in college and just graduating have grown up with it, which means that you're going to see them partying, you're going to see them doing probably even illegal things.
Mhm.
What would be something that you're just like, no, like that's too far?
Okay. Thank you. I think when you're applying for a job, you have to think about that they will be looking at these pages. So anything that you wouldn't tell them that you did in an interview, I don't think should be on your social media site. So just kind of think about what you're posting and when you post it, because some people believe that just because your profile is on private, business owners and employers can't see it, but they do have a way of doing so. So I would just watch what you put, because although they understand that you are fresh out of college and you were just having fun, they do want it in a respective way that won't badly represent the company.
No, reiterating with the personal stories, I once had a professor that pulled a Facebook picture up online, completely threw him by surprise and made questions of privacy on Facebook. Yeah. Great, so no more questions? These are all really good questions, and we thank you all for coming out here and getting to listen, and thank you all for coming and able to talk to us. And thank you. Have a good day.